So today we're doing slope-intercept form where y equals mx plus b, where the m is the slope or the rate and the b is the y-intercept one-time fee or starting amount. So today what you're going to be doing is writing a y equals mx plus b from a word problem, a table, or a graph. And you're already really good at this from word problems, so we'll breeze through this front side. So look at the first example. A dragonfly can beat its wings 30 times per second. Is that a rate or is that a starting amount? It's a rate. What made you know it was a rate? Per, that clue word. So how would I write this?
Y equals 30.
Y equals 30x. Very good. There is no plus. I mean, you could put plus 0, but you don't have to. All right, number 2. A balloon is released from the top of a platform that is 50 meters tall. Is that a rate or a starting point? It's a starting point, so that's the B. The balloon rises at the same rate of 4 meters per second. How would I write this?
Y equals 4x plus 50.
Perfect. Y equals 4x plus 50. Okay, the next one. The cost of renting a sailboat at a lake is $20 per hour plus $12 for life jackets. How would I write this?
Y equals 20x plus 12.
20x plus 12. Now, could I use different variables instead of x and y? Yes. So if it's 20 per hour, this could have said 20h. Okay? So just know that it's the same thing. All right, the next one. To rent a van, a moving company charges a daily fee of $25 and a fee of 50 cents per mile. How would I write this?
Y equals 0.50 plus
0.50 x plus 25. Now the last one has a trick part, so I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to read it to yourself and see if you can figure out what's tricky in it. Don't say it out loud. So what did y'all see that could trick you? Drained. Now what is being drained, the 35 or the 2?
Oh, 2.
The 2. So what are you going to give this to? A negative sign. Now, there are different ways you could write this. Okay, the first way you could write it is y equals negative 2x plus 35. Why would this be correct? Because the 35 is positive, the 2 is the rate, and it's negative. What's another way I could write this?
Y equals 2x minus 35.
Nope, that's exactly what we can't do. Okay, so it's a good example of what not to do. Why can I not write 2x minus 35? What has to be negative?
The 2.
The 2. If you put a negative sign with the 35, you're saying the fish tank had no water in it and actually had a negative amount of water. That doesn't even make sense. Okay? So what I could do to rewrite this is put 35 first. Is 35 still positive?
Yes.
Yes. And then put minus 2x. Is the 2 have a negative value?
Yes.
Now, I had a student tell me, but Ms. Castro, that's a minus sign. You are absolutely correct. It is a minus sign. But do y'all remember in 7th grade you learned how to keep change? And so if you do that, it becomes a negative. So it still holds a negative value. So you could write it all 3 of these ways. The main thing is the 35 has to have a positive and the 2 has to have a negative value. Does that make sense? Okay, flip to the back. How would I write a slope-intercept equation from tables and graphs? And the easiest answer is to use what? Why would stat work? Because stat's going to give you a slope and a y-intercept, yes? So in this table right here, it looks different from the tables that you've seen because it's a horizontal table. Just know these are your x's and these are your y's. So you would go to stat, pay attention, edit. You would type in 3, 4, 5, 6 for L1, and then those big numbers for L2. Then you would hit stat calc, option 4. They gave you the slope. So the M was 129. What was the B?
Negative 75.
75. And now could I write a y equals mx plus b out of this? So y equals 129x minus 75. What would be the correct answer? A. So stats easy, yes? Now, what if you have a graph? I have taught you a few different ways to do this. You could do stat, but I would have to make a table. Or could I do rise over run and y-intercept? Huh? You could do both. Now, my thing to you guys is that rise over run is hard when they're not counting by ones. And there's one on your assignment today, number 9, that's making it hard for everybody because it's not counting by ones. Okay? Huh? I'm gonna show you. So, on this one, I'm gonna show you both ways. Are y'all ready? Okay, look at the y-axis. What is the y-intercept? Okay, now stop. And y equals mx plus b. This is the y-intercept. So this would have to be 3. So look at the answer choices. Can I mark 2 off?
Yes.
G and J, because the y-intercepts aren't 3. Now, for slope, can I find it by doing rise over run?
Yes.
Okay, so rise over run, I need 2 dots. Here they are. What is the rise?
The rise is 3,
3. What is the run?
4, 5.
5. Is it going up or down?
It's going down.
All right, so which one of the answers has that as their slope?
H.
H. Now, again, rise over run is easy when they're counting by ones. Now, let me show you on the assignment right here. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Do you see how on the rise they're counting by 5s? So you either have to count by 5s. So this is a zoomed in quadrant 1. This is the x-axis right here. Look right here. That's the what? That's the y-axis. Okay? So my suggestion when you have a graph like this is to not use rise over run, to use stat. So I'm going to show y'all with this how you would use stat. So to use stat, you just go like this. You got to make a table. Pay attention. You need 2 dots. Do I already have 2 dots?
Yes.
All I need is their x value and their y value. So go to this dot right here. Where am I at on the x-axis? I'm at 5. Where am I at on the y-axis? 0. Now go to this dot. Here's 0 right here, guys. Where am I at on the x-axis? Right on the x-axis. This is the x-axis. I'm at 0. Where am I at on the y-axis? 3. Now could I use stat? Yes. So when you get a graph that you feel like, it's too hard to do rise over run because I can't read this graph well, just make a table. You only need 2 dots with an x value and a y value and use stat. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. Get your Chromebook. Go to the assignment online.
Was the answer negative 0.6?
Yeah, which is the same thing as negative 3/5.